The Full Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em. For those of you just joining, we're going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales, ending with Trail Mix, where I will bring you 3 songs, then Trail Etiquette, and Other Shit.
By me.
By you. Who's you?
Octavia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Amazing.
How are you doing today, Em?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You doing
No, I'm having mental breakdowns today.
good? Just a series of small mental breakdowns or one big one?
I think they're small. I think they're small ones that have compounded to be one big one.
Okay.
Yep. So now I just, that's fine. It's good.
Yeah, I'm having small breakdowns.
Why?
Because the world feels insane and I don't know what's happening. And did you hear about the plane bribe?
No.
You didn't hear about the plane bribe?
No.
This country, Qatar, is giving Trump a plane for $4 million plane. Yeah, I wish they'd give him a train. They could just run him over with it. But yeah, no, they're giving him a plane and it's illegal to take a bribe from another country. So that's what I've been hearing on social media all week. What? What are your thoughts?
Yes, that is illegal.
Have you heard of that yet? No, it's insane. Yeah, so I guess he's going over there to do some other kind of dealings. They want to build a golf course or something. They're doing something with the golf course, and so they gave him this plane. And basically, it's going to be an Air Force One plane, so it'll be like the president's plane while he's in office. And then once he leaves office, the plane gets to keep the plane, and it'll get, I guess, donated to like the Trump Museum of Unnatural Annoyance. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, well, he's planning his birthday right now, so that's been fun to hear about.
I heard about the birthday thing. It doesn't seem right. I saw somebody on social media taking the numbers of the amount of money they're spending on this event and like comparing them to what they could be using the money for instead.
Right.
So like I think it was like 10,000 veterans could get health care, or like there's a bunch of things that could really help a lot of people. Instead, it's one day of tanks going down a street. It's just wild.
Yeah, and you want to hear something else wild?
What?
The taxpayers in just 2025, well, yes, the taxpayers during Trump's presidency
Yeah.
have paid already $26 million to fund Donald Trump's golf
I heard about that too. That's nuts.
outings.
That's insane. They said that he's been on the golf course more days than he's been in the office in the first 100 days.
That's insane.
I believe it. Also, he makes up words that aren't words that you can make up. Like they're already words that exist. I forget what it was. It was like energize. I think he said, I just made up this word, and he used the word like, I think it was energize or something like that. And then
That's a real word too.
I know. So it was on what's the guy that we like that does the show, late night show?
Jon Stewart?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was on his show. He pointed that out, and then he was like, took out the dictionary, and he's like flipping through it, and he's like, nope, the word's right there. It's in the dictionary.
Oh.
You did not make it up. I mean, you make up other words, I guess. I don't mind a made up word now and again if it makes sense, if it's a word that like makes sense to make it up. But I mean, how else are words created? Somebody had to make them up, but not if you're that stupid.
It's insane.
It's insane. You can't just claim to make up a word that already exists, though.
We've already paid $26 million for his golfing habit.
Yeah.
In his first term, It was 151 million.
Wait, and it's how much this time?
26.
At this rate, it's going to be way more than the first term. It's only the first 100 days. He's got 4 years. I don't. What's the girl that I like on MSNBC?
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow. She's fucking hilarious. She said that she was talking about the plane. And she said that the plane is going to be he's keeping the plane after he leaves office. And then she was like, if he even gets to try and leave office.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
That's the scariest part. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling unsure of the future of our surroundings, but that's the world we live in.
Yep, and I'm just freaking out because I have to clean a car. So, you know.
Yeah, you're going down to the city for work. What day are you going down?
Friday.
Okay, so you could also clean it tomorrow, but you should probably just do it today because tomorrow you have work, right?
Yeah, but not till afternoon.
Yeah.
And I do things really well last minute.
Do you? Or do you just do them really well when you do them?
No, I just do it last minute.
No, you can do things not last minute and also do them really well.
Wow, I love the confidence you have in me.
I have so much confidence in you.
It's amazing.
Well, I'm glad that you are going to do that.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
You want to get into it?
Yep.
Any other news?
No other news.
Any other things happening?
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I have something funny. So, for Mother's Day, I picked up Adriana from her dad's house and I took her to an event nearby. It was like an artist's event, like a place where you can like people have like little booths and you can buy like their stuff or whatever. It's like a giant Etsy store, I guess.
Okay.
And then I ran into my sister there and we ended up going up to the bakery for pizza afterwards. So I texted my mom because I had texted her earlier that day to see if she wanted to do anything. And she was like, "Oh, I'd love to, but like, for Mother's Day this year, I'm doing this." She wanted to do her own thing, which is fine. Absolutely. It's Mother's Day. All the mothers out there, you don't have to spend time with your family if that's not what you feel like doing. If you just need a day to yourself, that is absolutely fine. Go for it. Have fun. So, I wasn't perturbed. I was like, not a problem, do your thing, whatever. So I ran into her at work yesterday and I was just telling her how it went. I told her about the artist event and then we went to pizza and how Adriana was with me and she was like, "Wait, Adriana was with you?" She's like, "I thought she was at her dad's because Sunday is usually her dad's day." I was like, "Yeah, well, her stepmom texted me and was like, 'Hey, do you want to pick her up for a few hours on Mother's Day?'" And that was really sweet of her. So, it's their day. They don't have to do that. I could insist on something like that, but like, I don't always rock the boat if it's not. We can always do Mother's Day on a day that's not Mother's Day, Anyway,
Yes.
I digress. So she's like, "Ugh, well, if I had known you had her, I would have changed my plans and come and met you guys." I was like, "Oh, okay. So I should have just played the granddaughter card."
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, you don't want to spend time with your child, but your grandchild? Hell yes. Sign me up.
That's hilarious.
Jackass. I had a good laugh.
I don't think you mentioned that part the first time around.
No, that just happened yesterday. I didn't tell you about it yet. I did not tell you. I mean, we had a nice time. I got to hang out with my sister and her daughter and my brother's wife and their son. And yeah, we saw Chrissy and Charlie there too, which is nice. I haven't seen them in a bit.
Oh, they were there?
Yeah.
Why?
Getting pizza. It was the first weekend of the pizza truck. The pizza stand. Are you ready to get into it?
Yep.
Great.
Story number 1 is called The Mist.
Ooh.
Spooky. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to start reading.
I would love if you would.
Okay. It was the first evening of our honeymoon, Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. We had just arrived in town, energized from the drive, still buzzing with that newlywed glow. The kind of lightness that makes you believe the world is only made of good things. We wanted to stretch our legs before dinner, so we picked out a short hike off Skyline Drive. The weather was moody. A soft but eerie mist had settled in, hanging like a veil over the Blue Ridge Mountains. It was beautiful, dreamlike even, but there was something off about it. The kind of atmosphere that makes the hair on your arms lift without explanation. Around 6 p.m., we started the slow drive up to Skyline Drive. As we neared the trailhead, a man walking alone along the shoulder of the road. He was strange. Shaggy hair, clothes that didn't quite fit, a hunched gait, vacant eyes, almost glassy. He didn't look lost, but he didn't look like he had anywhere to be either. I said something to my wife like, "That guy looks like he wandered out of a horror movie." We chuckled, half joking, but the unease lingered. We parked and started our hike, just a short 1.5-mile trail that looped up to where it met the Appalachian Trail. The woods were hushed, heavy with mist, like they were holding their breath. We walked quickly, but took in the beauty, those endless layers of shadowed blue ridges fading into gray. At the top, where the trail joined the AT, my wife stopped behind a tree to pee. We were alone, or so we thought. I was scrolling through a map on my phone, thinking about dinner. We weren't up there long, maybe 5 minutes. That's when I saw him. Through the fog, like a scene you'd swear was scripted by Stephen King, the man from the road appeared. He didn't say anything at first, just walked towards us, his eyes locked forward, and in his hand, no joke, was one of those multitools. You know the kind, half hatchet, half hammer. And he wasn't just carrying it. His hand was low-key raised, like it was ready. My gut clenched. Fight or flight, all systems go. We nodded politely, gave that kind of half smile you use when you're trying not to provoke someone unpredictable. As we passed, he muttered something under his breath, just loud enough to hear. Last time I was up here, I found a set of teeth. A set of teeth. Tave, did you hear that?
Yeah. Creepy.
What does that even mean?
Like a dentures.
That's what, okay, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm picturing.
Oh, you're
Okay.
saying like a skull?
Yeah.
No, I would say it was like that, like dentures.
We fake laughed, that brittle, too high laugh you make when something is definitely not funny. And then we walked fast. Once we were around the bend and about 100 feet down, we broke into a run. I kept turning back, checking if he'd followed. The fog was so thick, you couldn't see more than 20 yards behind. Every snapped twig or shift of wind felt like footsteps. We stopped periodically to listen. Nothing. But the silence was worse somehow. We made it back to the car, locked the doors, drove straight into town without speaking. The adrenaline didn't wear off for hours. A few weeks later, we stumbled on a news article. There'd been an arrest. A man connected to a murder near that very section of the park. Not the exact trail, but close enough that we exchanged looks without needing to say anything. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was just a weird guy with poor social skills and a penchant for misty hikes and morbid humor. But we still think about that set of teeth.
Set of teeth. Can you imagine?
I think that's why I think they mean it was a real set of teeth.
No, I don't know how you would find a set of like loose teeth.
Like a skull. Like,
Well, wouldn't he have said I found a skull? Well, you just found two jawbones with teeth stuck in them?
yeah.
I don't know. I picture like a set of dentures, or he could have found a handful. Maybe he's just a tooth fairy, like a creepy tooth fairy.
Or maybe it wasn't human teeth. Maybe it was like a jawbone of a deer.
It could have, yeah, it totally could have been.
I've
But I
found
still think,
deer jawbones before.
yeah, I've seen deer jawbones. So creepy as hell, though.
And why would you tell
Ugh.
a stranger that? Like,
Why,
that's it.
why would you tell a stranger that while hoisting a hatchet hammer situation?
but not really going at them, just, like,
Just
kinda wandering away with it. Like,
yeah.
"What are you doing?"
I definitely picture, like, one of those horror movie scenes where um, the victim is always running, like, full tilt,
Yeah.
and then but the murderer is, like, slowly creeping and somehow always catches up with them.
Yeah, when I was reading that book, something of a teenage slasher,
Oh, yeah.
it explained it in there, I forget,
Oh, yeah?
it just, like, was that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's, like, almost like everyone else in the world slowed down enough for you to catch up, and you had, like, different senses. It was like a whole
As a serial killer?
mhm,
As a murderer?
and once you get, to be a slasher,
I
a
just
slasher is different than a serial.
yeah, well, no, it's not.
It is, they have superhuman powers.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, well, maybe it's the whoever the murderer is that walks real slow. Maybe they can just like apparate. Oh, speaking of apparate, that's from Harry Potter, right? Well, did I send you that reel with the one guy that pretended he was if Trump was Voldemort?
Oh, yeah. Ugh,
If anybody wants to watch it, we'll try to put it on our socials, but, it was really funny. He was, like, just talking in the Trump voice and pretending he's Voldemort going to Hogwarts and, like, what house he would be in and and how the Death Eaters are just misunderstood.
my god, I can't.
The creativity, though, I mean, it's I like a creative reel. I could get down with a creative reel. All those other ones are boring, but the ones that are funny, smart.
I like the one that you sent me, of the guy, reading Trump's Easter post.
Oh my god,
That was hilarious,
so funny.
and his voice actually he's does a good impression,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
and with the hand gestures,
You have to have the hand gesture. He's like a meme,
yeah,
like,
a
just
walking
a
meme.
walking meme. I can't. So much material for
Anyway,
so long.
what do you think of the story?
I that was a creepy ass story. I love the teeth. I love that he was wearing clothes that didn't quite fit. I like that detail. Like, it really draws a picture of there was something off about this individual. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but he could have also just been mentally ill.
that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100% probably escaped from a mental institution
Yeah.
and stole somebody's
Doing
clothes
stuff
off
like that.
stole somebody's clothes off of a clothesline. It's a plot from a movie. It's a joke. And then he found a multi-tool and tried to scare a bunch of hikers.
Fun times.
Do you think it was the guy in the news story?
I think that it definitely could have been.
Yeah, I think
Just
it could have been.
right place, right time.
It could have been. They could have dodged a bullet, or in this case, a
It could
hatchet.
have been them.
They're the murderers.
Yeah, they were in that same vicinity, and then they looked at each other,
Uh-oh.
and we still think about that set of teeth.
Oh, yeah, because they're the bone collectors.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So maybe that he was just, wrong place, wrong time, and they're trying to pin it on this guy that has poor social skills and was carrying a multi-tool.
Isn't that always the truth?
Or maybe they didn't see him at all. Maybe they're just making it up
Oh, maybe.
after murdering someone.
Oh my god, you're insane. You ready to see story number 2?
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Bonsoir, Mount Washington.
You do it a little better.
Bonsoir, Mount Washington.
Yep, that was the one. Let's keep that one. Go.
So bad.
Yes, it was so bad.
Okay.
Okay.
It was
Bonsoir, Mount Washington.
you just had to do it.
Yeah, I just wanted a little mustache that curls. Bonsoir.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Mario.
Luigi. All right. It was mid-October, prime leaf peeping season in New Hampshire. And my buddy and I were feeling cocky. Seasoned hikers, dialed in, layers, maps, headlamps, enough snacks for the day. We were taking on Mount Washington with the signature blend of psychotic winds and clouds. Cold? Sure. Windy? Absolutely. But we managed to summit and even snag Monroe while the clouds played peekaboo all around us. It was a solid day, the kind that makes you feel like a backcountry badass. We planned for a late descent. Sunset was just a suggestion at that point. So, as the dark settled in, we clipped on our headlamps and started down the Jewel Trail, a quiet ribbon of rocks and roots winding back towards civilization. And then, from somewhere ahead of us in the void, we hear, "Hello!" Now, this wasn't a cheerful hiker to hiker kind of hello. This was the kind of hello that makes your heart skip a beat. We froze. Just two headlamps slicing into the black. Standing there, like ghosts conjured by bad decisions, were a young woman and her boyfriend. Sneakers, light jackets, no packs, no water, no gloves. The kind of clothing you'd wear to a fall festival, not a 6,000-foot peak known for chewing people up and spitting out statistics. They were shivering, borderline hypothermic, honestly, their eyes wide with panic and relief. We started with the basics. Who are you? Are you okay? What the hell are you doing up here? But they didn't respond because they didn't speak English, only French. Luckily, my buddy is fluent, so he switched into his hero mode and starts getting the story. Turns out they had started up the Jewel Trail at 3 p.m. 3 in the afternoon in October in New Hampshire. Yeah. They'd made it somewhere, not the summit. They weren't quite sure. The plan was vague at best, but it involved cell phones for navigation and flashlights. Unfortunately, flashlights weren't reliable, and they ran out of batteries within the hour. Then darkness hit, and fear took the wheel. They did one smart thing, maybe the only smart thing. They stopped. Didn't try to bushwhack, just froze in place on the trail and waited for a miracle. We were that miracle. Layered them up with every spare piece of clothing we had, gave them food, water. My buddy was translating everything. He says he can't feel his toes. She says she didn't know it would be this cold. They thought the trail would be short. Yeah, Mount Washington, just a short jaunt. We walked them down step by careful step. Took forever, but we made it to the parking lot. They found their car. Heated seats never sounded more life-saving. They thanked us over and over. It was awkward and sweet and slightly terrifying. Later, back in our own warm car, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I used to wonder how people die on the White Mountains, how they just vanish. But that night I saw it. I saw exactly how it happens. You didn't need a bear, a blizzard, or a broken leg. Sometimes it's just sneakers, a late start, and blind optimism. But that's wild.
Yikes.
I mean I've never done that before, but
I can't imagine, like, yeah, I feel like even if, maybe even more so if I went to another country, I'd be hyper prepared, like over prepared.
yeah, not everybody thinks that way though. I'm similar in that respect. You know, it's very easy to get. Well, it's very easy to not prepare enough. It's easy not to know when the sun is going to go down.
Yeah.
Not bringing water on a hike. That's kind of, I would say that's the biggest no I've ever heard of. Um, so those guys were lucky though. They were real lucky.
Yeah, they would have died otherwise, maybe.
What do you think of the story?
I liked the story. I thought that the way it was written was kind of annoying to me.
What? Oh, I liked all the fanfare
I
and
liked
the
the fanfare,
attitude.
but they were just like, the one line that annoyed me was when they were like, "We were that miracle."
Oh yeah, it's cute.
Oh
I don't
my
mind it.
god. We were that miracle. Well, I mean, they were, but
They
like,
were
you didn't have
like.
to say that. We know. We get it.
I think they deserve a little bit of that hero not complex, but feeling like they did a good thing. Don't you?
Yeah. But I think the gratification of saving someone should be enough.
Nah.
Oh, and it's not.
No.
Okay.
You also have to boast about it.
And write a whole story about it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. If I rescued somebody, you know that would be like the forever story I would tell people. I rescued 2 people on a hiking trail. Why not? You know?
Because the alternative is death.
Death
So
to
we're
who?
making what?
Death to who?
The people that you didn't rescue. You didn't rescue them.
Mm. The people you rescued if you didn't rescue them.
If you're
What
telling a
is your
rescue
point?
story, then the alternative would have been that they weren't rescued.
Right.
And then they died.
Right, but they did get rescued and they did not die.
Right.
Right.
But there was the possibility that they could have.
Oh my gosh. Are you Schrodinger's catting right now?
Yeah.
The cat's alive and dead in the box?
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly.
Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat.
Cat. Cat.
CAT.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No. Take it.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Love
But I
it.
did like to start.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we get into trauma?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Trail mix.
Yay.
Oh, God. Thank you. First on the list is called The Mountain Song by Rayland Baxter. Rayland Baxter. Rayland Baxter's music sits in that strange intersection between melancholy and calm. He's the kind of songwriter who sounds like he's been through something, even when he's not spelling it out. The Mountain Song is less about the mountain peaks and more about retreat, reflection, and the way solitude can press down hard before it lifts you up. Baxter grew up the son of a pedal steel player in Nashville, dabbled in baseball, and only came to music after his life took a few sideways turns. You can hear that in his work. This is not some studio-polished folk project. There's dust and distance in his voice, and this track especially feels like it belongs out in the wild. Trail pairing. Early morning start. Trees still dripping from last night's rain. It's quiet, but not peaceful yet. Next on the list is Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan didn't just play guitar, he spoke through it. Pride and Joy is one of his more upbeat, swagger-heavy tracks, but even when he's smiling through the blues, there's grit underneath. Stevie Ray Vaughan grew up in Texas, was playing bars before he was legal, and nearly burned himself out before hitting his stride. His tone, thick, fluid, raw, is unmistakable. This song, while technically a love song, has this energy to it that works on the trail when you're feeling strong. You're not invincible, but you're not dragging either. It's music for when your body starts syncing up with the terrain and you stop fighting it. Trail pairing. Middle of the hike, legs feel good, you're moving steady, sun's on your back, and you know exactly what's in your pack.
Ooh. Cute.
That's funny. Lastly, but not leastly, is Strawberry Letter 23 by Shugi Otis. Shugi Otis is one of those artists that critics and musicians love to name drop, but he never broke into the mainstream, which is wild considering he wrote Strawberry Letter 23 at 17, blending soul, funk, and psychedelia in a way that still sounds fresh decades later. There's a weightlessness to this song. It's airy but textured, like wandering through fog with headphones on. And there's something about Shugi's voice and production that makes you feel like time's bending a little. On trail, this is the come down or the float phase, when you've been walking long enough that the world starts to feel slightly removed. Trail pairing. Post-summit descent, legs loose, no service. The trail starts to feel a little like a memory as you're still walking it. The end.
Thanks, Em. Those all sound great.
You're welcome.
Those
Which one
all
are you
sound-
most excited to listen to?
The first one.
Which is what?
It's called Mountain Song.
Why?
Sounds gritty and dusty.
Cool.
I like gritty and dusty.
Cool.
Which reminds me, I saw another reel. It's really funny.
Oh my God. You're obsessed with reels.
Right now, yeah. So it was this person who was interviewing people outside Coachella. but interviewing them about made-up bands.
Okay.
And the people just pretending that they knew what the hell the interviewer was talking
Oh my
about.
That would be me.
They're like, "Oh, have you ever heard of, like, Snot Rocket? They're the best, right?"
And they're like,
"Yeah,
yeah.
they're so are you gonna go see them?" "Totally. What do you really like about that band?"
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
And they're like, "Oh, they're really like, it's like a vibe thing. Like, I really like their vibe." I'm like, "You're so fake."
That's so bad.
Oh, shit. I mean, they're really convincing. Some of them. Some of them are not. You can just tell that they are bullshitting. They have no idea what they're talking about.
No idea whatsoever.
Ready for trail etiquette and other shit?
Yes, I am.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Trail etiquette and other shit. Brought to you by Other Shit. Economic benefits of trails. What's the economic benefit of our trails in state parks in the US? Well, let's find out.
Okay.
Trails in national parks are not only vital for conservation, they're key drivers of economic growth. The outdoor recreation industry supports millions of American jobs and contributes to billions to the national economy each year, with 50 to 70 million trail users annually. Travel-related spending on gas, food, lodging, and gear specifically boosts local economies, especially in rural and gateway communities. Real estate also benefits. Homes near trails and greenways tend to have higher property values, and cities that revitalize old industrial zones into trail-connected green spaces often see increased investment in community development. Trails are also being used more for commuting, helping reduce fuel expenses, vehicle maintenance costs, and reliance on cars. Beyond dollars in development, trails improve health. Regular trail users file fewer and less costly insurance claims, resulting in long-term healthcare savings. In this way, trail use acts as a form of preventative care, offering economic value through healthier, more active populations. In short, trails support jobs, strengthen local economy, raise property value, reduce transportation costs, and improve public health, making them a smart and sustainable investment for the future. Ergo, why the hell would they cut the national parks funding?
At all.
At all. Fucking idiots. Sorry. Anyway, that's all I have for you today for other shit and trail etiquette.
Thanks for your other shit.
Thank you. I love my other shit. It's so good.
Yeah, I think that the best part of your trail etiquette and other shit is the other shit.
It's all the other shit that you gotta have with that trail etiquette, man.
Yeah, because like now I've learned that homes near the trails tend to have higher property values.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
And that's just not just trails like you'd see like deep in the mountains, or like they're talking about even like the rail trail that cuts through a city.
Yeah.
In New York City they have that park, the high rise. That's a trail. It's real long.
Look at it.
They have trails going through Central Park, you know? So we're talking about all the trails, not just some trails. Not just trails deep in the woods, deep in the mountains. You can get trails even if you are in an urban environment.
You sure can.
You sure can. All right.
Are encouraged to do so.
Are encouraged. So final thoughts on our stories today, Em. What do you think? What was your
I like
favorite?
the first one.
You like the first one?
Yep.
I like the second one.
Because I think that they were the murderers. So
The murderers.
they plural were a honeymoon pair of murderers.
Yeah, they're the honeymooners. Wasn't that a duo that killed people? Wasn't there people? Probably a bunch. Probably a bunch of honeymoon killers.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no, wait. Maybe the honeymooners got killed though. Now I don't remember. That's fine. There's probably been both scenarios have happened in mass murder history. So I like the second one.
Good. Why did you like the second one better than the first one?
I liked the second one. I thought it was interesting.
In what aspect was it interesting?
I like the second one because I thought that getting those two people to safety was really gallant. And if it was me that was dumb enough to go out in the woods at a time without enough preparation, at a time when, the sun was gonna end up setting eventually.
Mhm.
I would wanna be rescued too.
Me also,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't want a story written about it,
I wouldn't mind it.
about
Yeah.
you being rescued.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't like it.
Hell yeah. Yes, I got rescued. Thank you so
Yes, I
much
did
for
stupid stuff.
rescuing me. What?
Yes, I did stupid stuff in order to be rescued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. As always, you can find links in our show notes.
You should post that video there.
Oh, the Dumbledore one?
Yeah.
The Trumpledore one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a part 2. I didn't send that one to you. You have to watch it.
There's a part 2 to it?
Yeah, I'll show it to you after we're done.
God.
Check us out on Patreon. We have a bunch of stuff over there.
Check out our merch store.
Check out our merch store. We have some new things coming out soon. They're still in development.
But getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Anyway, that's it from us crazy people here at Falls Summit.
Where every mountain is just one more almost there. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. And being the key word.
And if you didn't enjoy, well, that's your epic fail for the week. Hee hee. Ha ha. Ho ho.
And hey, if you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or fallsummit on Instagram. We will be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails.
And don't fall off a cliff. See you out there.